Thank you. Welcome to everyone to today's meeting to celebrate the anniversary of the Fraternity of St. Charles, 40 years. In 1985, we were born by, founded by Monsignor, well now Bishop Emeritus Massimo Camisasca. Since then, the fraternity has grown and now is in many places in the world, around 20 houses, missions, but also more people around the world. And this song, Go Tell It on the Mountain, celebrates a little bit the mission, and go and tell it everywhere. And so this is what we are, what we want to be, to evangelize and to be for everyone, wherever the Lord wants, like here in this parish and also in Taiwan, where Father Donato was for 10 years. So Father Donato was ordained in 2013, am I right? And after that, he went to Taiwan for 10 years in a house like we have here in this parish with 5 or 6 priests. Then after the mission in Taiwan, he was called back to Rome to help the mother house that we have in Rome. In particular, 3 years as a rector of the seminary, so to look after the seminarians. Some of them were here. And then after this, he became Vicar General of the fraternity last May. So now he's the Vicar General of the Fraternity of St. Charles. It's very powerful. And very powerful. But he came here to visit us and to tell you that no one will go away. So don't worry, we will all stay here. And so he came last Thursday and he will leave next Thursday. So 1 week with us. And we asked him to speak about in particular the mission in Taiwan. So I gave a floor to him. And then after 40 minutes, the talk, if there are some questions, you can put them. So let's welcome him with joy.
Thank you. Thank you, Father Rafa. Hello to everyone. I'm very happy to be here today to tell you about my experience in Taiwan, where I spent 10 wonderful years. Can you hold here? It's okay? Okay. And let's say that I hope that we can send more priests here. But we'll see. The power is on our general superior. For me, it is always very helpful to look back at my experience in Taiwan. The more time passes, the more that experience feels present for me. It's not just a memory, it's a grateful remembrance that still nourishes my days as a missionary today, even if in a slightly unusual way. Pope Francis says that the joy of evangelizing always arises against the background of grateful memory. So for me, it's really true. Today also we celebrate the 4th anniversary of our fraternity. So first of all, we want thanks God for all our missions around the world, including here in Italy. I don't know how much do you know about Taiwan, but I think that I can briefly describe in Taiwan, just to give some context for you. And okay, no, it's the other one. Ecco. So Taiwan is this island close to China, and the original name was Formosa, given by Portuguese, that means beautiful, beautiful island. So it's quite small, with mountains and very beautiful places. The population is around 23, 24 million, so in a small area. This is a picture of a view of Taipei from the sky, from the Taipei 101, which is a skyscraper. So in Taipei, we have like 7 million people, and our mission is there in the city. This is a picture of a square, Freedom Square, as you can read over there. Can you read it? No, ecco. 自由 means freedom. So we have, it is right. And Guanchang means square. Okay. So maybe you know that Taiwan at the moment has some political issues with mainland China. And because Xi Jinping wants keep it back, the Communist Party calls Taiwan like rebel island. Rebel. So it make liberate Taiwan the main slogan of its political rhetoric, but we hope that Taiwan will keep its freedom, because there is democracy and it functions with complete autonomy from mainland China. It has its own government and also constitution, flag, currency, army. Yet only about 15 countries at the moment, I think 14 now, including the Vatican, recognize it as an independent state. For the rest of the world, Taiwan remains one of the many regions belonging to China. So you can see some people in Taipei riding motorcycle, as Father Pietro. Yeah, or motorbike, because there's not so many space, so we have to. It's crazy. I love it. When I was in Taiwan, every day I ride motorcycle, but in Rome it's too dangerous, so I cannot. Yes, very, very safe. So the language is Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. I love it. It's a very beautiful language. As you can see, this is the original picture, and then the ideogram, traditional, simplified, that means horse, ma. 对吗？对. Okay. So the language is a kind of art. So it's the dialect once spoken by the imperial officials, the Mandarins, in Beijing. Now it's the official language of all China, also of Taiwan. So each ideogram corresponds roughly to one syllable, but there are 5 tones or ways to pronouncing it changing the meaning. So you can see ma means mother, ma. Would you try? Ma. Okay, 5 different meanings. There is a very, very famous sentence that says, Mama chi mama. So I just said, Mom rides a horse, right? Mama chi ma. The horse is low. Man. So mom courses the horse. Mama. Mama chi mama man. Mama. I'm right? So I love this language, but it's a bit difficult. So every day for almost 2 years, I took lesson in order to learn it. And now more or less I can understand, I can write and speak. So this is a temple, typical temple, because the common religion is a kind of Taoism. So there are rituals and ceremonies meant to obtain the favor of many gods. So you go to the temple and pray for fortune, health, wealth, money, beautiful wife, or whatever you want. So there are many gods, not very nice. I mean, it's a bit. So, but above all, you must not anger them. So you can offer food or incense and burn symbolic. You see I don't know how to say incense. Incense, okay, this one. And also you can burn symbolic paper money, like this one, to, yeah, because generally people are a bit afraid of gods. So for us as Catholic, to share with them that God is a father is a very big revolution, can I say, in their life. But also at the same time, Taiwanese society is also deeply influenced by Western secularism. So many people pursue well-being. Often the real God is money, and which drives people to work constantly, sacrificing almost everything. And in Taipei, the famous Tower 101 displays the shape of ancient Chinese coins on its facades. So young people are becoming less religious and go to temples just to please their parents. So the Catholic Church has been officially present for just over 160 years. So it's a tiny minority. Catholics are just under 1% of the population, and all Christians together are about 2% out of 24 million people. So it's still a young church, and it's a very much a land of first evangelization. Many people quite literally have no idea who Jesus is. And that, of course, is exactly why we are there. Our presence in Taipei as Fraternity of St. Charles began 25 years ago. And at the moment now, our house is made up of 5 members, 5 priests. Our mission unfolds mainly in 3 areas: parish, 2 parishes, university work, and also we accompany the Communion and Liberation Community, the movement we belong to. Over the years, the bishop entrusts us with 2 small but lively parishes. This is the place where we live. That was my car when I was there. We live in a Chinese market in the middle, so that works 365 days per year, so always. This is the church dedicated to Saint Francis Xavier. So every Sunday we have like 80 people attend Mass. And And this is the community. That was me many years ago. You know, during Christmas, I used also to teach at university, and I used to ask my students, what are we celebrating in Christmas? And they usually they said, I think that is Santa birthday, no? And I said, no, it's not Santa birthday. It's Jesus' birthday. So usually we go out and do processione, how do you say it? Procession with the baby Jesus to tell them. This is the other parish, St. Paul's Parish. It's bigger. There is also a kindergarten. Every Sunday we have like 400 parishioners attending Mass. I was pastor of this church, and this is also the community after the procession of Christmas. I was this one. Yeah, dance from Taiwan. It's a Taiwanese congregation. Yeah. This is the Catholic University, Furen Daxue, Furen. Catholic University, yes. Used to be in Beijing. Then when Mao Zedong took the power, he expulsed all the Catholic congregation and institutions. So our priests teach Italian and language and culture in this university. I was also a teacher there, and we meet every Tuesday with some students that are not Catholic, and we have a meeting and sharing about life, about friendship, and stay together for evening per week. And then there is a community of communal liberation. We have some activities, vacation or meetings or talk on hiking or dancing. So there are also university students as well as older adults, Catholic, Protestant, Buddhist, Taoist, and atheist. And everyone can be part of this friendship. I arrived in Taiwan on my birthday. And those 10 years became, in many ways, a true rebirth for me. And my first arrival in Taipei was a bit traumatic because I was still a seminarian. And there to study Chinese and to get to know the mission. A few days after I landed, my brothers in priesthood, they left. They left for World Youth Day. So with some students, so they went to Europe, and so with a mixture of trust and I think recklessness, they handed me the house keys and the parishes and left. So you should do the same. So on the way back from the airport, it hit me that the next 2 weeks will be chaos because I didn't know the place at all. I couldn't read or understand anything. And none of the parishioners spoke English. So I got home worried, sat down, and wondered what I was going to do. And a few minutes later, the doorbell rang, of course. Here we go. So I thought, what do I do now? I opened the door and found Quen Li, my great friend Quen Li. And a friend I had met just a few days earlier who did this. Because we cannot speak any language. So we spent a wonderful evening communicating mostly through gestures. On the way home, I thought um there is a passion for the other generated by faith that overcomes even the barrier of language and communicates the truth and the beauty of Christ. So a truth I would experience countless times in the years to come. Faith really allows us to live a deep unity with all those people Christ chooses. Um, so that first episode taught me something very important that was confirmed over and over in the years that followed. Wherever we are sent every day, we are also awaited by the one who sent us. And in my case, he came through my friend Quen Li, knocking on the door. And since then, with greater or lesser awareness, every day I desire to find out how Christ is waiting for me. That is what it means to live the mission, really, to live the Christian life. One cannot be Christian without being a missionary. So I learned that mission is a kind of meeting of two expectations: Christ's expectation for us and our own expectation for Christ. When I get there, I read a sentence of Father Giussani, the founder of Communion Liberation Movement. He says, "We are ready to speak with the whole world, to go anywhere, but we need a home. Because a home is the first place where we experience Christ's presence." So to explain what a home is, I think of what we did every morning, and I looked at our priest here do the same every morning. After morning prayer, we would kneel for a few minutes of silent adoration before the Eucharist. And I think that a home, every home, including every family, is the place where we recognize ourselves as called together by God, where we help one another stand before Him. Each of us has our own story, worries, gifts, and limits, but before and within all of that is Christ who calls us together today for a task, for a mission. Of course, this is always easy because there are disagreements and arguments among us too, but that's why we need at least one moment each day to recognize our shared calling in a family or also in a priestly fraternity. Now I would like to share some. This is my brothers there. Now there is Father Paolo, Father Emanuele, Father Antonio, Father Simone, and the new one, Father Martino. Oh, this is my friend Ihong. In Taiwan, we are always dancing, and as you can see. Ihong is a simple man in his 60s, a house painter who came to us through a chain of friendship. Some years ago, a woman named Maidan was baptized in our church, where I was pastor. The next year, what happened? Sorry. I'm not very used to. The next year, she invited her friend Wei Hua to catechism, and after her baptism, Wei Hua invited her colleague and friend, our Yi Hong. Whenever I think of him, I think of the dialogue between Jesus and Nicodemus. Nicodemus, it is right? How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter his mother's womb again? And Jesus said, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. After baptism, he was literally reborn. He had lived a very hard life, failed marriage, involvement with shady groups tied to Taoist temples. And when he arrived, he had many wounds, regrets, and a lot of guilt. But during the journey to our baptism, and especially afterward, I saw him transformed. And today is joyful, responsible, and above all, no longer alone. He once told me, I had a difficult life. I made many mistakes that led me to sadness and loneliness. But despite everything, Jesus chose me, saved me, because by encountering the church, I finally found a home, a family that is God's forgiveness for me. And one evening, he told me that some old friends tried to pull him back into his former life. And he answered, I am Catholic now. I don't need to do those things anymore. So he said, I can. He didn't say I can, but I don't need to. And they never contacted him again, except for one who secretly, like Nicodemus, started asking him questions about faith. Uh, he and a few close parishioners formed the Joy group. And he always jokes, they are the group, I am the joy. Christ truly gives joy, the real kind, born of forgiveness, which remains even in suffering. And another story, I don't know, what time should I stop? I don't remember. Badovanti. Okay. Another story is about Along, a great friend of mine, a young man who came to the parish through a colleague. He grew up in what he calls a family without love. The first time he saw the parish community, he said, I thought places like this existed only in movies, not in real life. So a few months later, he was baptized. Now he has a wife and two children. Once told me that one episode, he lost patience with his little daughter while helping her with math homework. He got angry and hit her, repeating what he had seen growing up. So physical punishment is still very common in Taiwan. But right afterwards, he felt a pain in his heart and realized he had done wrong. So Christianity taught him something new, that being a father does not mean always being right, not having the right to do anything to your children. So it is something small, but I think revolutionary, because in that culture, in the Chinese culture, after his daughter ran away crying, he went to her room, apologized, and told her he would go to confession. Because in the Chinese culture, the parents are like gods, no? I don't know how to explain. Do you agree? A superior, yeah. You cannot disobey, you have to obey everything. And so the daughter, she later wrote him a little note which he keeps in his wallet now. Don't worry, Daddy, surely God will forgive you. And something that could have, he said, something that could have ruined our relationship became a chance to grow closer. And he said, I never had an example to follow. I often felt inadequate. That's why I'm so grateful to the church because friends, priests, and parishioners, they always accompany me and teach me how to be a true father. It's truly a revolution. And another story is about shopping. Um, a colleague invited her to the church, and she says, and the first 3 times at Mass, I did nothing but cry. For the first time, I understood I was not alone, that I didn't have to rely only on myself and my intelligence. God was with me, and I could entrust myself to Him. She has spent many years caring alone for her bedridden father. Every visit increased both her love for him and her resentment toward her family. She used to say, I hated my mother and my sister because she was alone taking care of her father. But when some Catholics started visiting her father in the hospital as an act of charity, she was moved. And uh, she said that the prayer that struck her most was Our Father, especially when it says, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Um, this was the opposite of how she lived. So she says that at first I tried to endure my family, but endurance means shallowing, bitterness, and suppressing anger. But forgiveness is something entirely different. She was a high-ranking manager when she discovered she had a brain tumor. Today she's in a wheelchair doing therapy each day and living as a missionary among other patients and doctors. She is really full of life. Doctors gave her little time, but God is giving her not only time, but also its meaning, the meaning of time. She says, before becoming Christian, I couldn't even sit at the table with my family without hating them. Now it's not like that anymore. In the church, I learned forgiveness. I was once a slave to resentment. Now I am finally free. I don't know how much time I have left. I just know I want to use it to tell everyone who I have encountered. So Christ truly seeks us and accompanies us through the companionship of the church. The church is imperfect, made of sinners like us, but she's holy because God dwells within her. Jesus said that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm there among them. So this word gives us a new gaze on our brothers and sisters with esteem and mercy because they are Christ's presence for us. That's why what I've experienced in Taiwan and try to experience every day. And that is what I desire to rediscover each day now living in Rome or whatever I am, and what I wish each of you to experience in the Christian friendship you live here in Eastling. So today is also the first day of Advent time, and as you as we say in Taiwan, in many countries, in England, also in Italy, there are still many people waiting for Christ. So let's help each other to live through as a true Christians, so as missionaries, wherever we are. Thank you. If you have any question, I'll try to answer it. Other Christians. Yes, 1% Catholic, and all the Protestant churches together makes 2%. So total Christians, Catholic and Protestants, we are 3%. So around 600,000 people, more or less. Am I right? Yes, out of 24 millions. Mm. Thank you for your question. Because, yeah, in the Chinese tradition, in the religious tradition, in Taoism, Buddhism, they believe that when you pass away, your son or daughter will take care of you through some rites and everything, going to the temple, offering the foods. So many times when someone meet Christ and want to get baptized, has some issues, some difficulties in the family. Some of them, there is some stories that, for example, some of them they wait years and years until the parents pass away. But I know some people that gave me a very good witness, because they said, I think that Christ is the truth, so it's good for me to join the Catholic Church, to be closer to Jesus, and I'm sure that is good also for my parents, even if they now at the moment they don't understand my choice. So they decided to get baptized, and over the years, after some years, also the parents starting to come to the church and to get to know Jesus, and all the family became Catholics. So it depends on the situation. Of course, it's a path, it's a journey. When I were there, or now? Now, we have some connection. It's not easy because, we cannot go to mainland China as missionaries. Once I tried to go, I was appointed to preach a retreat. So when I get to Xiangang, Hong Kong, I applied for the visa, And then I wrote, I'm a teacher of Catholic University. Then I went to a coffee cup. Then they called me and asked me, excuse me, are you a, come si dice, ministro? Minister of Catholic Church in Chinese. 300 yuan. So I said, I don't understand this, this word. And he said, okay, okay, and then hung up. After 1 hour, he called me again and asked me straightly, are you a priest? And then I said, yes, I am. And he said, no, you go back to Taiwan. We will not give you the visa. But sometimes we go as tourists to give some retreat, but not in a public way, just, yeah, because there are some communities of communion and liberation, this movement, in mainland China. So we have some connection. And also there are many Catholics that they come to Taiwan for a while, for some years to study or at university. So we have chance to know them and to accompany them. But the church in mainland China is come si dice? Persecuted, yes, until now. So we need to pray for them.
We are to consider ourselves here in our different places, little missionaries within our homes and our societies. You as a missionary being sent to a far-flung place like Taiwan, doing second collection withdrawal Siberia. How come you get sent to Taiwan? Why Taiwan? How does that work?
We should ask it to no, the story is that once when I was at university, I knew Father Paulo Costa, who's in Taiwan now. Once he came back and shared with us the situation over there, and he said, in Taiwan, there are people that don't know anything about Jesus. No? I was very impressed. So when I was a seminarian, our superior, Father Massimo Camisasca, and our rector asked us, if you feel a kind of call to this particular place, country, mission, keep it in your prayer, and if you want, you can give us your availability. So I did it because of that, and they really sent me to Taiwan. So the day of Saint Charles Borromeo's liturgical memory, our superior asked me, we are thinking about your destination or mission. Do you like to go to Taiwan? And I said, no, please don't send me. No, I said yes, but before I left, I was afraid to go, I remember. But then my brother said, come. Then I left and I went there. As parish priest, pastor of the parish, of course, in the parish when I was pastor, usually we take care of every parishioners, but I had to say that charism of our fraternity comes from communion and liberation charism. It's the same charism, started by Father Giussani, He was a professor in Milan, and he left his theological come si dice, career, and he went to a high school as a teacher and started to this kind of group. So of course our charism is also related with schools and education, youth, but of course not only, because as any priest we are called to take care of our parishioners and so. I don't know if I answered your question.
I was just wondering, perhaps it's much more difficult to work on the older generation there. I mean, around here, they're not. Everybody does it right. You know what I mean? I just wondered how much more difficult it is to involve the older people in Taiwan.
In Taiwan, it was not so difficult because, I mean, other people are more, come si dice, più saggi, più wise. So they helped us a lot to be missionaries with youth, because the youth now don't go to the church, and so we are in our community in Taiwan, in the parish community, mostly are elder people. So we work together in order to attract youth, no? So no, I don't. Yeah, I was very happy there.
Personal observation. You speak such good English.
No, I prefer speaking Chinese.
I grew up in Switzerland, you understand Mandarin and Italian. What languages?
Spanish.
Spanish.
Yes. Because I spent 1 year in Mexico City as a seminarian. Schooling, and 2 months in USA as a seminarian too, in Oregon.
Joe, yes, one question.
John, when? The vocation? A priest. Because of the secularism in Taiwan, almost all the priests are foreigners, and the vocations are very, very, very few. Because of the tradition, of course, and also because for Taiwanese people, Taiwan is a place of first evangelization. So for many of them, Christ is foreigners. So our religion, Catholic Church, is something that is not very Chinese, very Taiwanese. So we have some families, Catholic families from generations, but are very few. Usually a vocation, priestly vocation, comes up from a Catholic family, strong Catholic family, usually. So in Taiwan are very few, and also the priestly vocation very few. So they, how do you say, import priests and seminarians from Korea, South Korea. There are many, many vocations in South Korea. And also from Western countries. 不客气。
Good. Thank you. Conscious of time and that we have to prepare for the Mass at 5:30. I just would like to thank you, Father Donato, in particular for, yes.
Thank you.
For coming here and giving your time to explain a little bit your mission there. I just highlight some things that you said about God is Father and understanding well, the mercy and the different relationship that we have with God compare maybe to the people there. And then when you highlighted the community, the fact that people are alone there, which is something that resonates also with our society here, I think, and the idea of the forgiveness also, and the being embraced again. And also when you said that God gives the meaning of time, is something that we said yesterday as well at our retreat. Eliot said God gives the meaning, and again a purpose that even here for many people is the same. And then when you highlighted the missionary and the evangelization, again Bishop Philip insists on this. Just say this because even if Taiwan is so far culturally, geographically, at the end you see that we are all one church and we share a little bit the same vision and the same idea of spreading the good news and giving to everyone the opportunity to meet Jesus Christ, our Savior. So thank you again, Father.
Thank you very much.